Hey there, what we're doing today is we're changing the two idler pulleys and the Serpentine belt on this 2005 GMC Sierra. It is a Duramax diesel. It is four-wheel drive. This should cover quite a few years. They should be pretty close and similar. It should give you an idea if yours is a different year. But we're going to go ahead and get them swapped out and kind of run you through the procedure and hopefully help a few of you all out. So here we go. First thing you need to do is get you a few tools. You're going to need you a 1/2-inch breaker bar. That's going to be to loosen the tensioner. Metric socket set, 14 millimeter. That's for the bolts for the idler pulleys. And if you want to use a ratchet, or you can use a breaker bar on the socket, I use a 3/8 ratchet with an extendable handle to give me a little more leverage. So let's get going. First thing you want to do is take your 1/2-inch breaker bar, slide it down in to where your tensioner is, and your tensioner is right there. There is a 1/2-inch square slot. Let me see if I can slide you down in there and let you look at it. You can see that or not. Right in that side of that tensioner. That's where your 1/2-inch drive breaker bar will go. Slide your 1/2-inch breaker bar in there, and you get a good grip on that tensioner, and that'll let you loosen that thing up. And there you go. There it is installed. Can you see that there? There's the breaker bar, and right here is the install of it. And what you're going to do is you're going to want to take this breaker bar and push it to the left, and that will loosen your belt. See how that moves? All you want to do is move that like that, and go ahead and slide the belt right on off. Now that we've got the belt off, we're going to go ahead and remove the pulley. The pulley is a 14 millimeter bolt. This is the idler pulley again, which we are changing, and the pulley is right here. There's actually two of them. There's another one a little bit lower than this. I'm going to change them both because they're making some noise. So 14 millimeter bolt and is right here on the end. It's just a regular thread, so you're going to turn it to the left to loosen it, and let's get it out of there and see how it looks. What I'm using for this is a 3/8 ratchet to remove this bolt. 14 millimeter socket, short well, and it fits in there just like so. And turn to the left. I've already kind of loosened it up, so loosen that up right there. Let's wind her out. There it is, and there is my problem. There are the bearings, which you should not be able to see, and they are missing. So see if we can't get a new one put in here. So now we have removed the pulley. I actually removed that lower pulley also. Got it out of the way because I'm going to need to replace it too. It doesn't look as bad. There it is right there. It's not missing the bearings and everything, the balls out of it. So, but I'm going to replace them both since I'm in there. I'm going to replace the belt too, put a new belt on it. Here are the new pulleys. This one here is from O'Reilly's. Looks a little different than the one from AutoZone, but they only had one each, so I had to go to both places. Here's the part number for the O'Reilly's. Here is the part number for the Duralast from AutoZone. Now this is for a Duramax LLY 2005 GMC Sierra, and it is a single alternator setup, which does matter, I guess, because they asked me that. My belt I am also changing, and if you want the part number for that, it is from AutoZone also. And here are the part numbers for the Dayco belt. So let's get this thing thrown together and get these pulleys on, get this belt on, and see where we're at. All right, on to the next step. We're gonna go ahead and get this pulley in here. Slide your bolt in. As you can see, I have installed the lower already. It's really hard to see that one. That's why I'm not really showing as much. They are the exact same install. Slide the bolt in there. Get down in here. Get her lined up. It is regular thread. Just go ahead and start your bolt. I do not have a torque for this. I usually just snug them up good and tight. Never had one fail me yet, so just go ahead with your 14mm socket, get that on there. Sorry, it takes just a couple extra seconds. I'm only doing this one-handed. Get her good and snug. And that is it. The pulleys are now on. You're almost there. You just got to get the belt on. And see, that turns nice and free. Both of them turn nice and free. Let's go ahead and get the belt on, and that'll be the next step. Next step, we're going on with the belt. Right here on the front of your truck, you should have some diagrams. There you go. Tells you your different motors, your different routing for your belts. This one here is a diesel. Okay, and this is if you have the dual generators. I do not, the dotted line there. Mine has one generator, one alternator. So I'm going to do the solid line. We're going to go ahead and run that. I'm going to have to just run it on there, and I'll show you how to loosen the tensioner again like we did earlier with the breaker bar, but it's going to be hard to kind of do it and hold the phone at the same time. And anyway, we'll get it started on there and go from there. Just make sure your ribs are lined up with your pulley, and basically the backside will go on your idlers, and here is your idlers that we just changed. One right there and one right there, and we'll get this belt on and go from there. Get this thing running. So we got your belt routed and set on there. Now what you gotta do is use your 1/2-inch breaker bar. You slide it into the slot on your belt tensioner, right down there. Hopefully you can see that. Get a light. And how I do it is I want to put it on the pulley, the idler pulley that we had just done. I'm gonna see if I can kind of loosen that up and show you how I did it. Okay. Alright, so let's see here if I can set you down. Anyway, you pull this tensioner, get it nice and loose. And I'm hoping I have this phone set where you can see that. But there's your belt. And see, you can slide that on and off. You just slide it under there. I run all my routing, and I slide it on this pulley last. Get it right in place where you want it. You release the tension. Drops down on there. You can see we got that right where it needs to be. Also down there, you got all your ribs lined up on your power steering, your air conditioning, your alternator, and so forth, all the way around. Your belt's on. Should be able to fire this thing up. Should run like a top. All right, we're gonna go ahead and fire this up. Make sure everything's working properly. So far, so good. Now you just take a look at the belt, make sure everything's tracking well. Everything looks good. This install should take you maybe 20 minutes, half an hour at the most, with your pretty basic hand tools that we went over. Alright, well, I hope this helped a few of y'all out and maybe saved you a little bit of money. And stay tuned. I'll try to get another video out of whatever else goes wrong with my truck and maybe help some of you all out. So, alright, till next time.